Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Derek Ledwidge. Today we're going to go over how to use macros and MyFitnessPal to make a unique meal plan for yourself. All right. As we constantly talk about through our nutrition coaching, we are a macro-based business. So that is, proteins, healthy fats, carbs, as well as veggies. But again, those are carbs, but they're on their separate own category. We always use MyFitnessPal here just because that's what our preference is. You can use other apps as well. You can even use pen and paper. If you end up using pen and paper, your portions are going to be laid out for you. It's kind of hard to adjust, and honestly, a lot of times we try to get people into using MyFitnessPal just simply because there's a number for MyFitnessPal. Pen and paper, you can put down one egg for protein, but you don't necessarily see the number associated with that as opposed to a large chicken breast. Obviously, there's a lot more protein in that chicken breast than there is in that one egg. But just putting it down for the sake of putting it down doesn't necessarily show that. So that's why we try to end up using MyFitnessPal in the long run. But again, just starting off, it doesn't really matter with that. First things first, biggest reason why we do not give out meal plans here is they are not unique. Okay? Strict meal plans, they have their purpose, but this is more of a long-term thing. Ideally, we do something to where you can do this longer than 4 weeks, than 21 days, than 6 weeks, than 8 weeks, than 3 months, anything like that. This is something we want to do long-term. Okay, this is something we want to do during lifestyle, the lifestyle mode. Okay, so this needs to be unique around your lifestyle. No one else's, your own. Okay, and then we're going to show you how to end up doing that. First one is, how many meals are you eating? Okay, generally we want to have at least 4. Okay, 4 to 5 is great. Sometimes it's 3. It really depends. But how many times are you putting food in your mouth? Okay, so that was a handful of nuts. That needs to be a feeding time. Okay, so that needs to be considered a meal. All right, so how many times are we actually eating during the day? Second one is going to be big. There's going to be another video about what non-negotiables are. These are really crucial because a lot of people, when they start dieting, they try to restrict everything. No more going out to restaurants, no more doing anything, or no more going, having elaborate dinners with your kids, no more pizza night or anything like that, because those are bad, okay, in people's eyes. And when you get down to your strict time during diet mode, yeah, those things sort of they shouldn't be there. But again, we can fit it within our lifestyle if we do it correctly. Okay, so those are the non-negotiables. What things do you need to have? Maybe you need to have that ice cream with your kid after softball or after baseball, because that is an emotional tie. That is spending time with your kids. You need to have that ice cream. It doesn't mean it has to be huge, but you need that time. Maybe you need to have an elaborate dinner with your family at night, okay? Because you do not that's your family night, that's your family time, everything like that, and you don't want to spend 5 hours making 5 different meals for your entire family. That might be a non-negotiable. All right, and the reason why we put those in first, but you still put those recipes in MyFitnessPal, is now you can work around them instead of just doing them for the sake of doing them. Instead of going through your day and then going overboard with that dinner and then blaming it on that dinner. Instead, adjust according to that dinner or to that meal. This is how we treat it for our lifestyle, all right, for our specific lifestyle. So what are your non-negotiables? What things can you not do without? All right, what things can you get rid of? So we're going to pick one consistent meal. Generally, rule of thumb is usually breakfast. Why? Because it's super fast. Okay, we can generally do something really consistent for breakfast. Okay, still having all the different macros, so still having protein, veggies, stuff like that within that time. But what is going to be the consistent meal? Generally breakfast, but there can be other ones as well. Reason why we pick that is the more consistent we are, the better it is. All right, so that is our meal. We check that off. The rest of the day is going to be what we can make around. All right. Rule of 2. I'm going to pick each day. Can be the same, can be different foods. I'm going to pick each one of these. All right. This is assuming we're consistent with breakfast. We're going to have 3 meals, maybe 4. It really depends. So this number will end up changing. Okay. I'm going to pick 2 proteins, 2 veggies, 2 healthy fats, 2 carbs. and I'm going to just put them in lunch and dinner. There's my meal plan. All right, so there it all is. Now I have my day. Well, what does that plan equal? Okay, if we're going by numbers or we're going by portions, what is the total I should be at the end of the day? How close are those perfect plan numbers to my plan that I just laid out for myself, even with those non-negotiables? If you don't have the non-negotiables, you don't put them in there, but you just adjust accordingly. So where am I at? Okay, what does my perfect plan look like? Well, if I'm not there yet, now I just adjust the portions. So maybe my plan right here, I wasn't having enough protein. Okay, well, instead of having 4 ounces of chicken, now I have 5. Okay, instead of having 4 ounces of cod for dinner, maybe I have 5 or 6. I adjust the portions until I get to that perfect number. Maybe I don't want those big meals. Okay, those bigger meals. So now, instead of adding little by little, maybe I add a protein shake. Either way, I'm adjusting the portions. I'm not freaking out that I'm not getting enough, but I'm adjusting. I'm using my plan and my food log to realize that that is what I need to do. Maybe I'm having way too many carbs throughout the day, and I know that because I'm looking at my food log. Well, my plan is now I'm decreasing the portions of carbs. That's how we make adjustments until we fit our perfect plan that is spot on according to what we tell you to do. So if we're chronically eating 1,000 calories, and I tell you you should be eating 1,600 every single week, if you're not trying your hardest to adjust to get yourself to that number, you're doing yourself a disservice. All right, we want to make sure that we are always trying to improve, always adjusting our portions until our plan is spot on. And if we're consistent with that plan, we're going to get great results. If we're not consistent, we have to return to here. What can we do to fit it around the lifestyle? Because clearly something is wrong if I cannot do it perfectly. All right, and that's how we adjust. That's how we make our meal plan. But we are using the planning and the food journal together constantly to adjust. If you cannot handle that, if you cannot handle making changes, it's not going to take. And we're just going to do what we've always done, which has got you the results that you are currently at. Okay, so we need to make sure that we are putting in some work to adjust according to our lifestyle.